What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, we're going to have another Star Wars discussion. This one is going to be like another speculation type of video, where we're going to just put our ideas out there for what we think would make a good Han Solo film, and maybe even the direction that they're going towards for the Han Solo. So we know we're getting it next year. They're in the process of filming it now. So this one is a little bit more exciting to talk about than the Obi-Wan video I did the other day, because we know we're getting this one. We don't know definitively we're getting Obi-Wan. We're all pretty sure, but, you know, it's not like it's announced or anything. All right, so with the standalone films, it appears that Disney and Lucasfilm are... what they're trying to do is add another type of genre to the story to make it feel fresh and different from the episodes, and to kind of make it stand out on its own. So with Rogue One, they made it a war film, and it did feel like a war film. You know, you were in the battlegrounds, you were in the middle of the battles. Whereas in the episodic movies, you get that. I think there's maybe one scene each movie where you really get the feel for being in the middle of war, but we weren't. The whole story wasn't revolving around that, and that's what Rogue One did. So what I think they're going to do with the Han Solo movie, just because the type of guy he is, he's a criminal, smuggler, pilot. So I think that the genres they're going to go for this one are going to be like a crime drama kind of. So I'm thinking like a heist movie mixed with like a getaway movie. Like I would imagine there's going to be some chase sequences and all that. Now, here's the thing that has me puzzled, and it's making it a little bit harder for me to speculate on the movie, is what I hear is that this movie will take place over like a 6-year span. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to follow him, in all 6 years. It could simply mean we get a scene from his early life, and then move ahead 5 years later or whatever, a scene from his, the current timeline or whatever, at his oldest in the movie. What I think they're going to do is something similar to that, but I think it's going to be like segments. We'll get, in the very beginning, we'll get like a flashback or whatever of where he came from. I personally think he's an orphan or was abducted by the Empire to be raised as a stormtrooper. So that's where I think they're going to go with the start. And then we'll probably get something like in his late teens, where the same actor can still play it. Because, he looks very young. So, Ansel... is it Ansel Eichenreich or something like that? I don't know. He was in, that Coen Brothers movie that I didn't really care for it that much. Hail Caesar. He was good in it, though. All right, so then I think we'll get like 18 to 19 for probably a small portion of the film. I think it'll be where he defects from the Empire and runs off. Either that, or we'll see him as, 18 or 19 with the guy who found him as an orphan, which would be Woody Harrelson's character. So I think Woody Harrelson's going to be like his father figure, and he's either going to come into play as finding him as an orphan, like I said, or after he escapes the Empire. Because I feel like I heard this before, and I know it'll be Legends, even if I did hear it. But I think in Legends, the story goes that Han Solo used to be a stormtrooper, or he used to be a pilot for the Empire or whatever. So I like that idea, and I'm going to run with that one. All right, so the Empire swipes him up when he's a kid, and then he escapes, teen, I guess after maybe they try and get him to kill somebody or blow up a planet or something. He's not with it. And I think he's going to run away, and then he's going to meet Woody Harrelson's character, who I think is already going to have a band of criminal-like misfits. I'm sure we'll have a droid. I'm sure we'll have some sort of alien creature. And no, I do not think it's going to be Chewie. I think he will be in the movie, and he'll play a pretty decent-sized role. but I don't think he's going to be part of the crew for the majority of the movie. So it'll probably be Woody Harrelson. We'll get like some sort of droid. We'll get some sort of alien creature. And then I'm thinking that Donald Glover will probably be part of that team. If not right away, he will eventually. And I'm thinking there'll be a girl for some reason, a female member of the crew. You know, the first 3 Star Wars movies did an atrocious job at including women in their even in their background scenes in their overall universe. So it seems to me that even with the prequels and now they're trying to make it a point to let you know, hey, there's women in this universe. There's also people that aren't white in this universe. These are things that a lot of people complained about with the original trilogy, and I think even with the prequels and now with the sequels and all the spin-offs, I think that Disney and Lucasfilm have a conscious train of thought to where they're making sure they have people of color, they're making sure they have women in substantial roles because it just feels more realistic, right? All right, so then he'll meet Woody Harrelson and his band of misfits. Now, part of me is thinking that Lando is actually going to be part of a rival crew, and I like that idea better. So let's roll with that one. So we got Han joining up with Woody Harrelson's character and his group, and then we'll have Donald Glover, and maybe he's got his own band of like a misfit group. Maybe Nia Nob is part of them. That would be awesome. And maybe they're 2 warring criminal teams, and they're both after the same score. I like that. So we start off as like a heist film, right? So there's some sort of big score. Of course, you know, they get the score, and that'll be what the movie's about, is these 2 factions, these 2 like smuggling organizations all vying for the same prize. Now, does that mean taking a smuggling job? Does that mean robbing something? I don't know, because I think it's going to go deeper than them just being smugglers. And I think they're maybe going to be into thievery as well. So, so we'll get that. And then throughout the course of the movie, of course, the Millennium Falcon, however you like to say it, will be included heavily in this movie. Now, I have 2 ideas for this, and I'm not sure which one is their more likely approach. So maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. So, either Woody Harrelson's ship is going to be the Millennium Falcon, and then maybe Donald Glover is part of the team. So whenever Woody Harrelson dies, that's how they end up going head to head for the ship. And maybe they make a wager or a bet and Han wins. Totally like that idea. But I can also see the Falcon being something that they acquire throughout the course of the movie. Maybe they steal it, or maybe that's what they're after, this prized ship. But what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to be Lando's ship. This is my most likely scenario. It's either going to be Woody Harrelson's ship from the beginning, or it's going to be Lando's ship, and maybe in some sort of gambling or a race or something like that, Lando's going to lose the ship to Han. So I think we'll definitely get that. And we're going to have, I think we'll have 2 antagonists. I think Lando is actually going to be sort of an antagonist, at least for Han, throughout the movie. Even if Lando is part of the same team that Han is on, they're going to be butting heads and going at it the whole movie. I'm sure of it. By the end, they'll probably make nice and make friends, right? And then we'll probably have another criminal organization or a big crime boss or a bounty hunter or something. I think Michael K. Williams, Omar from The Wire, I think he's playing the villain, and that would be awesome if he was like, some big bad crime lord or something like that, or maybe he works for the Hutts, maybe he is a Hutt, or maybe that's who the villain is the Hutts. All right, so now here's where I get a little dicey. I also am really struggling with whether or not we're going to see what causes the problem between Han and Jabba. I feel like there might be too much space in between this movie and A New Hope to really make that work, but maybe not. I really don't know. And it's never mentioned to how long Han was on the run from Jabba before Jabba found him. So it could have been a long time. Maybe that'll be part of the movie too, where there'll be bounty hunters after Han for screwing over Jabba. But I don't think we're going to get there. I think we'll meet Jabba and we'll have maybe allusions or a setup to what to what Han is going to his problem with Jabba. But I don't think we'll actually get that problem. Okay, so we have this heist movie, this chase movie. We'll probably get a lot of spaceship fast chase action. I really hope we get to see the Kessel Run. I think so, because look, here's one thing that they're definitely doing, and they've shown us with Rogue One. They're going to be putting Easter eggs. They're going to be putting familiar characters, familiar plot lines, familiar ships, familiar planets in the movie to make it all feel cohesive. So I can see them adding some of the things that we all want as fans. But if it's not necessary for the story, don't shoo in the Kessel Run. You know what I mean? But I think those big marquee moments of Han Solo's life we'll see. We'll see him flee the Empire. We'll see him meet and have conflict with Han. We'll see him acquire the Falcon. We'll see him have great trust issues, because he obviously has trust issues when we meet him in A New Hope. And we will also see him meet Chewie. Now, the Chewie thing, I think, is going to happen in the end of the film. The last battle of the movie, the last climactic battle scene, will either take place on Kashyyyk or on another planet that Chewie happens to be at. Han will save Chewie's life, because that's their whole story, is Han saves Chewie, Chewie owes Han a life debt, blah, blah, blah. And they become best friends. History's written. So I think at the very end, during the big battle, he'll save Chewie, maybe rescue him from a prison or a jail, or maybe save him from getting shot or something. And then we'll end the movie with Han, Chewie, and the Millennium Falcon, whatever, going off. Now, I think it's going to end with them going off to do a job for Jabba, which we're all going to say, oh, that's the job that got Han in trouble. So, yeah, that's how I think it's going to flow. So let me just go over it real quick, sum it up before I wrap up this video. So we'll see Han's life, probably bits and pieces of his life, his upbringing. I do think he was taken by the Empire, so we'll see a little bit of his time in the Imperial Army. Then he'll join the criminal crew. He'll get involved in the life of crime. He'll meet Lando. I hope we get a really good gambling scene where the winner of the bet gets the Millennium Falcon. That'll be great. And we'll also get, I'm sure we'll get tons of treachery and backstabbing, because that's going to be a big part of this movie, I think. It's going to be about that criminal element. So we're going to get a lot of backstabbery and maybe even some from Han. Because I don't think they're going to make him out to be this milk boy, this goody two-shoes. That's Luke's job. Han is the rebel, the one that maybe rides that line between good and evil. So I think we're going to get a good sense of that in this movie, where we won't really know who to trust. And I think that's going to be the main crux of it, is trust. And who do we trust? And by the end of the movie, it's going to come down to Han trusting two things in his life: Chewie and the Falcon. And that's where we're going to end it off. All right. And I think we'll definitely get the Kessel Run. We might get Jabba, definitely get mention of Jabba, and probably get at least one throwaway scene with Jabba. And we possibly will even get some bounty hunters. So I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. Sound off down below. Let me know what you think of my ideas for the Han Solo movie. Chime in with some of your ideas for the Han Solo movie and what you think might happen, or what you'd like to see happen or pop up in there. Or let me know what you think about this video, how I'm doing, what I can do to improve, etc., etc. So in these rough times of YouTube, I please urge you to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you want to be a fan, and you want to follow us through our entire journey here on YouTube. You can also follow me at Twitter, at ScreenHeadsTV, and I'm also on Facebook. So check me out on any of those places. Thank you so much for watching. Always appreciated. My hair got kind of crazy during that one. Yeah, so thank you so much. Always appreciated. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Oh, and may the Force be with you. Wait, may the Fourth be with you. Wait, may the Force and the Fourth be with you. May the Fourth Force be with you. I'm going to work on that. You guys have a great day.